What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have another video talking about some huge whale activity that we're seeing in regards to Bitcoin, Binance, and what is going on with the current FTX crisis. So before we get into this, I'm going to talk to you guys what this is important and see where Binance and Bitcoin are trading at currently, and then we're going to talk about what this means moving forward as we relate to our everyday investing. So before we get into it, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop your comments down below. It does mean a lot for the channel as we grow. So with that being said, let's get down to it. So Bitcoin whale moved $1.14 billion in Bitcoin. Okay, now where is that going? All right, so he is moving, he or she, or they for that matter, is moving over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin to Binance. Okay, so now Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange by volume. All right, so why is this important? Well, there's a couple things when it comes to what CZ did, triggering his tweet that shook the crypto world by storm. All right, so with that being said, that was going to happen irregardless of what CZ did. Okay, FTX was going to fall. They were going to be caught eventually, and that was all going to come crashing down. All right, so CZ kind of sent that chain reaction that started this whole flurry of sell-offs and exchange moves. Okay, now we are seeing everybody's basically under the microscope. So when we see these large transactions, it's usually an indicator that somebody knows something. Okay, so not a lot of people have $1.15 billion in Bitcoin just sitting around. Okay, so this high net worth trader, okay, initiated a massive transfer last night. All right, and this was all brought to you by Whale Alert Fines. All right, and now what this is going to explain is why this amount of Bitcoin suddenly shifted. Okay, so what we need to take from this is that it is, as this is quoted, an urgent situation. All right, so this does not have anything to do with the actual exchange in Binance or anything with CZ, okay? Because a lot of people think that maybe CZ was behind this massive Bitcoin transfer as these wallets remain anonymous, okay? So all this really means is that it's more than likely that it is an individual or an institution, for that matter, that was in an urgent situation due to this fear and panic that are going on with having that amount of money on an exchange, okay? So maybe we can find out one day that it was actually something in regards to one of these subsidiaries that was involved with FTX. That was basically FTX had a lot of holdings within them. Okay, or it could just be one single entity that just basically wants to kind of put all the chips into Binance and feels the safest with that amount of money and that amount of crypto being on one exchange, and that exchange is Binance. Okay, so my takes on this is that I look, in full disclosure, I do all of the only centralized exchange I use is Binance. Okay, it's the one I've always used, Binance.us. I have my own reasons. You guys can all have your reasons for what exchanges you guys use, if any at all. But for me, it's always been Binance. It's just a comfort and a fee factor. Binance is kind of where I keep all of my crypto. So when it comes to Binance, I have a little bit of experience knowing why possibly somebody would trust Binance with that amount of Bitcoin. Well, nowadays it's the only thing that is left technically. Okay, so a lot of, there's foreclosure rumors that have been with Coinbase for years. And then when we talk about now FTX is gone, Binance is the one that remains. So this huge amount of volume that's coming into Binance and onto their exchange is very, very good for the platform. Okay, so that's 59,000 Bitcoin. All right, so it doesn't make much sense for CZ to basically unpeg BTCB and with all that Bitcoin, okay, and put it back into Binance. Okay, with that being said, BTCB market cap decreased around the same time, okay, but it doesn't seem to be post-settlement, so it is very counterintuitive if this was CZ moving 60,000 Bitcoin, okay, so if he does that, it's going to basically be very hard for a lot of the projects on the BNB side of things for them to function. It's gonna hurt them internally, so it's probably a fair indicator due to how vocal CZ is on social media that if he was going to move this 60,000 Bitcoin, he would have let his investors know. He would have let his all the project leaders that were running on the BNB chain, and he would have just basically been transparent about what was going on, due to the fact that he has been every step of the way. Okay, so that's just kind of how he's been operating, especially since this FTX thing. Transparency seems to be the most prevalent and most highest priority of all of the leaders within crypto. So other notable whale transfers, we've seen 1,186 Bitcoin, so 2,056 Bitcoin, and 19,035 Bitcoin. So roughly, if you add all those together, okay, so we have about 378 rough Bitcoins, okay? So that is, I'm sorry, $370 plus million in Bitcoin, okay? So why is that important? Because this one single transfer of 68,200 Bitcoin is massively outweighing the next three whale movements put together. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys about the article. If you guys hear about anything dropping with CZ and on Binance with this large transaction, it's out there. It's all what I just gave you guys from this article. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. This is the this is the daily chart. You still see it trading sideways. We're kind of stuck in this 16,600 level. In my opinion, I just think Bitcoin is ready to break out. There's a lot of money on the sidelines, and now this transaction means that we basically have $1.14 billion ready to be injected into the market as this whale sees fit. So some encouraging notes. This is basically this holding pattern that we're going to see, I think, through the end of 2022, as well as, you know, into tax season. There's going to be a lot of harvesting possibly go on in regards to that. So when we talk about what's going to happen in the markets and ebbs and flows, I think there's going to be more pain just due to the fear, not necessarily the actual fundamentals of each coin. All right, so Bitcoin is the one that's important to follow and track due to all the other crypto markets and coins following Bitcoin's lead when it comes to price action. So that's just what I wanted to cover for you guys. And then we'll take a quick look at the BNB price at 273. They're seeing a modest 2% gain on the day. May or may not be because of this inflow of Bitcoin onto their exchange, and just people kind of betting on BNB long term as possibly being like a safety net when it comes to having a exchange's coin basically in their wallets and part of their portfolio. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. The handle is in the bottom left, and we will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.